Aries rising. My name is Olivia, and this is my channel, OJC Astrology. This is going to be for Aries Ascendant. So this means if your rising sign, your AC is Aries, not if you're Aries Sun. And the thing about the rising signs is that they're, in my opinion, as an astrologer, the most important part of the chart, because based on your ascendant, what sign it is, what degree it is, that maps out your entire chart. So if you're an Aries ascendant, that would mean that your descendant, which is your 7th house cusp, is the opposite sign. It would mean it's Libra, where you have a 10th house, a 4th house. So for you, Aries ascendant, Aries ascendant people have the chart that is the original chart. So this is why I call Aries ascendant the leaders, because, and before I even get into anything, one thing I want to say is that a lot of Aries, like, I actually have not met too many Aries ascendants, and I feel like you guys are very unique, because I feel like Aries ascendant is one of one. Like, they are leaders, and for most of their life they usually feel they are meant to be this person or follow a certain path, but then also at one point in their life they realize they need to break the rules and that they need to go their own way, because you guys in a lot of ways are also a pioneer, you are leaders, and you're usually at the right place at the right time. So one thing I want to say is that if you have an Aries ascendant way in the later degrees, like past 25 degrees, you may want to look at Taurus rising, and this applies to all of the risings. Like anybody that has a rising from at least like 25 or later, you might want to look at the next one. If you have a very early degree, you may want to look at the one before. But Aries rising, I say that you guys are the leader because Aries, Mars rules Aries. So wherever your Mars is or whatever sign it is, being an Aries ascendant, you live your life as if you are a Mars person. Like it's almost like if you were to have Mars in the first house, being an Aries rising. And this is why you guys want to do things. You have goals. You see yourself in certain positions. You see yourself connecting with certain people. That's Libra, the 7th house. And you feel like you're an individual and that you can make things happen for yourself. You guys are natural born leaders. Now, the thing is, 4th house is Cancer. So for the most part, you guys were nurtured. Like you have some type of feminine figure or older mentor type of figure that has given you some type of nourishment. Because Cancer is the 4th house, you guys do have memories of being loved, or you have some type of connection. And if you didn't have that necessarily, then you guys are very connected to your roots. You're very connected to your ancestry. Let's say you didn't have, any type of figures, or let's say you didn't have a good relationship with your mother. Then this would make someone really interested in knowing their genes either way, knowing their roots either way, wanting to know where they come from. Now, with Libra being the 7th house, the thing with Aries rising is that you guys are always trying to, for a lot of your life, you're always trying to see where you fit in, what people you complement, who complements you. You guys are always going out into the world, looking for your tribe, looking for a partner. A lot of Aries rising people feel like they need the person. They need a person with them. And not because you can't stand on your own, because Aries rising can stand on their own. But you guys will feel like, I stand alone because I'm standing here amongst others. It's almost like you guys are amongst others, but you're one of one. You are one of one. That's the only way I can explain it. But it's like being that one of one, it can make you guys lonely, because your 4th house is Cancer. So what you really do crave and what you really want on a soul level is to connect. But because you are naturally independent, another thing I want to mention is that a lot of you all learn to nurture yourself. If you didn't have necessarily a very nurturing upbringing, you learn to nurture yourself. So this is why you can stand on your own and you can be your own person. You're coming from your own emotional background. You guys just know how to stand on your own. And this is why you come into this world, and a lot of it you lead yourself through. Like, I almost said Cancer rising. Aries rising doesn't necessarily have like, you guys will meet a lot of different people, And this is because your 11th house is Aquarius. Like, you'll meet a lot of people, you will connect with people, but it all, like, Aries rising sometimes feels like they are just here. Like, sometimes you guys feel like you're just here and other people decide what you're worth, or other people decide what you're gonna do because of the 7th house being Libra. So at some point in you guys' life, you come into this very independent space where you feel like, I'm gonna decide who I share myself with. I'm gonna decide what I care about. I'm gonna decide what my legacy is. Because for a lot of you guys' life, you have this open spirit, and you have this brave streak to you where a lot of people are drawn to you. People feel like you're a good person to have on their team. People come to you with their problems. People feel like you're someone that can help them get somewhere. And a lot of the times, you guys see, being an Aries rising, sometimes you guys witness a lot of people being defeated throughout your life. You witness people who can't stand up for themselves. You witness people who don't feel independent, who don't feel like they're one of one, who feel codependent, who feel needy. A lot of you guys see this. So then you, Aries rising, feels like, I can't be around anybody if I can't be me. Or it's like, I can't connect with anybody if they don't see how I really feel. And you guys feel like, I can't achieve anything until I get me right, until I know what I'm doing. So you guys, in a way, Aries rising are you have an impact. You may not even realize it, but you just being who you are creates an impact for all the people around you, and you impact the world just by being who you are. And there's a loneliness to this, but there's also a feeling of, I can do anything on my own. Like, Aries rising, the type of people that if they decide in their mind they're going to do something, they do it. And what does the first house rule? The head. And it rules Aries. So the thing is, Aries ascendant, it's like it's all on you. And like, a lot of you guys feel that way. Like, a lot of you guys feel like throughout your life, whether other people were involved, whether people made promises to you, it's like at the end of the day, it was always up to you, and it was always on you. So a lot of the times, you guys create your own luck. You create your own fate. You create your own circumstances because you are ruling your first house. Like, you decide who you are. Like, if you're an Aries rising, you decide who you are. You decide who you connect to. You decide the relationships you enter, and you decide the legacy that you leave. It's all a personal choice. So Aries rising have a lot of pressure. These people put a lot of pressure on themselves to perform. They put a lot of pressure on themselves to transcend their own expectations. And you guys are nobody can defeat you. Like, an Aries rising cannot be defeated because you guys know your strengths and your weaknesses. You guys know your power, and you know where you don't have power. And this is the 7th house Libra. You know who has the power you don't have. So you guys know how to align. And certain stuff that maybe you don't feel comfortable with, Cancer 4th house, you will know how to kind of level with someone and see maybe they're comfortable with it. You guys know how to spot your in. You guys know how to open spots for yourself, or you know how to open the door for someone else to walk through with you. But at the end of the day, it's like Aries rising are always exactly where they're meant to be. And sometimes you guys will get this anxiousness, like you need to be striving for more, or you need to work out harder. You guys need to look better. You need to make more money. Like, sometimes you guys have this, and it's the nature of Aries, which is Mars energy. You guys will feel like you need to push yourself, or that you need to achieve. And the thing is that that's in your nature, but one thing that you want to remember is that the 12th house of Aries is Pisces. And what I like to say is that Aries and Pisces is the end and the beginning. So it's almost like Aries rising are here in this life to finish something they've started, or to start something after finishing something else. But a lot of the times it's the first thing I said, where you're here to finish something you have started. And this is because your 12th house is Pisces. So the spirit of Aries is Pisces. Aries rising stands as a pure vessel and as an open being, as this like pure being, because it has unconscious understanding. Aries rising people are highly, highly spiritual. They're highly, highly spiritual people. They have a lot of dreams. They have a lot of unconscious personality. And the thing is that you guys in a lot of ways are guided. Like I personally believe all Aries rising to an extent have some type of angel or some type of guidance. And sometimes for you guys it's spirituality. Like you guys just either you start to know your own god, your own goddess, and you start to get into your Pisces 12th house, where you start to take count of what your dreams are. You start to have certain experiences and you start to notice synchronicities. Like Aries rising are highly spiritual people, and this is because you guys have a very, very, very active imagination and unconscious mind and self. So what the spirit of you is. So okay, I have to kind of explain Aries and Pisces so that I can explain this part. But this is basically how I can explain this to you all. Pisces is this mutable water. It's the experience of all experiences. It's the worst experiences, the best experiences. It's love and it's hate. It's real life and it's dream life. And it's kind of like the whole sphere of experience and existence and the emotional experience of life. So a lot of ways, Aries is the personified dreamer, right? Because Pisces is the mutable water, Pisces lives in the water. So this is why Pisces doesn't have the courage of like an Aries. The Pisces doesn't have the physical force like an Aries does. But Aries kind of stands in front of Pisces as a protector, as the physical embodied being, the passion personified, the dreamer personified. So it's like Aries rising is the personified physical being that Pisces is. So it's like Aries rising have the spirit of Pisces without being immersed in the water and being sensitive. You guys have the strength, you have the stamina, and you have the imagination of Pisces, but you stand as a physical being. Whereas like if you take this and you say, so yeah, that's actually the way that I want to put it. So it's like Aries rising people, you guys have a lot of this spirituality, and it's a part of you. But your gift is that you're fire. You know, you start and finish things in your life. You guys are here to do that. And what is the, notoriously Aries are known as like starting things they can't finish. But one thing is that I feel like with an Aries rising, you guys start things and you do finish it, because all your houses ends up being Pisces at the end of the road. It ends up being you and your dreams, you and your illusions. You always come face to face with yourself. Aries ascendants, face to face, you are the answer in your life. There is no one else that can answer things for you. There's no one else that can do things for you. Face to face, you are the answer. That's also your 7th house Libra. Everybody you see is a reflection of what you need to see. Every experiences that you have with other people is showing you something you need to see in yourself. Everybody is a mirror for you, and you stand also as a mirror for others. So you guys are independent. You guys have an imagination, an unlimited ability. You have an unlimited imagination that you can tap into. And another thing that I want to mention is that, so who Aries can learn from, we always learn from our 9th house. So who you can learn from Aries is Sagittarius. And the reason that you can learn from Sagittarius is Sagittarius learns through others and perceives things not just pertaining to itself. Like Sagittarius can view other people and view other experiences and view other, perspectives and see it all, right? Where Aries sees what's in front of them. Aries sees what's fact, like what's right there, what it is, the physical. Whereas your 9th house, you can learn to sometimes see outside and beyond yourself. Like, even though I just said how you guys at face to face, you are the answer, the way that you can best utilize and grow and evolve as a person is that take on other people's perspectives sometimes. Sometimes try to look at things from outside of your personal perspective and self. And because a lot of the times Aries rising, it's not, this is who you are. So just know you're always going to do this. You're always going to be this independent person. You're always going to see things from your point of view. But when you really want to ascend and you really want to grow, you have to see things from other people's point of view. And that's not your Libra 7th house, that's your Sagittarius 9th house. That's what you have to do. You have to learn. Like, you can't just stay, like a lot of the times with Aries rising, the 4th house Cancer, you always believe what your mother taught you. You always stay believing what you were brought up with. And you're here in this life, you're here to create your own philosophies. You're here to create your own talents. You're here to create your own fate. So this is why you learn from the Sagittarian energy that sometimes it's not about being the winner or being the loser or being right or being wrong. Sometimes you're just here for the sake of not exploring life, but exploring yourself. Because there's a lot to you that sometimes you don't even see, because you are more focused on getting from point A to point B and smashing your goals and being the best you. But sometimes you don't even see all of you, because that's a challenge for Aries rising, is to see that you can be a multi-dimensional being while also being this pure, solid, independent spirit. So that's what I have for Aries. Obviously this is a general reading for Aries rising, and based on your sun and your moon and all of your other placements, this is going to be different. But yeah, for the most part, Aries risings are leaders, and there's really nobody that, like, there's no one who can tell you who to be. You guys are who you are, and nobody is going to really change you. And that's what makes you great. That's what makes you great. And the thing is that also Aries risings, it's like you are here to be great. You guys do stand as this personified version of greatness. But the thing is, don't let it get to your head, because that's where you can fall short. That's where you can become arrogant, or that's where you can fight so hard to feel like you don't need people, when deep down you know you do, and deep down you know you care, and deep down you know that you want support. So don't push so far that you lose sight of your soul, because the Cancer 4th house is proof that you can be affected, that you can connect with people, and that it's a matter of, are you going to allow that or not, or are you going to stay to yourself and fight for yourself and fend for yourself? Because like I said, always, it's really what you decide. Aries risings choose their path. You guys have the gift of being able to choose your path in this life. So it's a lot of pressure. Aries rising can feel a lot of pressure. This is why sometimes they do something they know they can do. And sometimes they don't want to necessarily challenge themselves. They don't want to necessarily, chase after someone they're not sure if they can have. Like, you guys sometimes you hold yourself back, because you know that if you go too far, you're the one that will have pushed you over the edge. So it's what you decide, Aries. You guys are natural born leaders. You are pioneers. You are imaginative, powerful beings. And you inspire people to be themselves. You inspire people to stand and be their own original person. And it's like, always, no matter, even when you're a group amongst people, you stand out. Like, in your own right, you stand alone. And the thing is that just because you stand alone, don't be deceived in thinking that you'll always be alone, or that you should be alone, or you're meant to be alone, just because you always can stand alone, because that is not your curse, that is your gift. No matter what throughout your life, you can count on you, and this is why other people know that you are someone to aspire to be more like, and you really set the bar for how people should respect themselves and how people should hold themselves accountable, because Aries rising holds themselves accountable, or at least they need to, because at the end of the day, like I keep saying, you guys really face to face, you are the answer. And through you standing in that powerful stance and taking ownership over your life and taking the direction in your hands, you really truly inspire so many other people to stand up and do the same. And for you, it is what it is. You don't even have to try. You are who you are, whether you want to be or not, Aries. So I suggest that you embrace who you are, and you really ask yourself, who is this person and where is your path, and then you can really navigate it forward for however you choose. So that's what I have for Aries rising. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, please thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, and until the next video, let's go to Taurus.